do all the time.
Cut that sucker right down to the...
Want some masking tape? There's some right over there.
Super glue?
Might need super glue. I'd actually take one if you had one. 'Cause
A
this may
Band-Aid?
bleed. Yeah, this may bleed for a while.
Oh,
How
Just
much
got it to
alcohol you
quit.
got?
right. We're good.
All right.
We're starting.
All right, we gotta go ahead.
It's fine.
Did you fire it up?
I did. Wait for the eyeballs to show up here.
I bled one day at Richmond and my car chief.
Caught yourself working on the car before. There's one. You got our
Yeah,
first viewer.
The car chief asked me, he says, how many highlights do you have left?
If you see anything that says Caitlin B. Benson,
Got it.
we're not doing her questions.
Okay, got it. So
And I wish I had time to tell you the story
Okay.
about that.
All right, folks. We're gonna let a few more people get us cranked in. You know, we go to 10. We're at 11. Let's go. You ready?
Sure, let's
Here we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pub Table Racers. Today's date is September 8th. My name is Tim Packman. Sitting next to me is my
Warren
co-host,
Brosel.
co-owner of the website PubTableRacers.com. And how was your holiday weekend?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. For those of you tuned in on Sunday, we went down to Steve Tidmore's campsite in Darlington over the entire tailgate system. We saw that.
Yeah.
And thanks for having us. It was great and appreciate it. He's a new sponsor of the show, so welcome. Go check out the website and get yourself a cool thing that goes on your tire when you go camping or football games or whatever you do.
Grills,
televisions,
TVs,
yeah.
fans.
It only uses one tool, a Phillips head.
Yeah, and it'll about hold anything you want on that tire.
That's it. Perfect. All right, so that's what we have. We'll get the show. Warren, why do we always have Miller High Life with us?
Well, we always have a Miller High Life because Bobby Allison is our hero,
Correct?
and we both enjoy this tasty beverage.
And we drink them in his honor.
We drink them in Bobby's honor.
We have both worked with him in some capacity.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 9 o'clock here. Ready to go? Let's have a good show tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it. Here's what we got going on tonight. The show is brought to you by Lake Norman Patio and Game Room on Brawley School by Canvasback and Oak. We appreciate Brad. Go check him out there. Tell him Pub Table Racers sent you, and you get yourself a discount. And here's some special news. If you're in the Mooresville area, this Saturday from noon to 1, or 1 to 2, 1 to 2 p.m.
1 to 2.
1 to 2, because there's an Xfinity race at 2.
Yep.
We will be there live.
We don't want to interfere with them.
No, we're never going to do that if we can avoid it. So come on out, check out the game room stuff, the front of patio furniture, say hello. And Brad said he's going to give something away. He hasn't figured out what yet, but we're going to do the show live down there in the game room area downstairs. Come on by, say hello, and we will do that. But you got to be there to win the prize, right?
You must be present to win.
Must be present to win. You just can't win from someplace in Michigan or
I
something
had a
like
can
that.
going. I got this.
Did you pregame?
I pregame.
I am so shocked. And so's everybody else, right? How y'all doing, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. All the names, like Steve's there. Mike Wallace is here. Come on, let's get started. Patience, driver, dude. Wahoo's there. Brother from Vegas. We got people from Buffalo. Love it. So let's see. Brad's giving something away. Must be present to win. So tonight's show, we're going to talk about some track news. We got crew chief suspensions. We got Darlington results. And then we'll bring our special guest on, two-time NASCAR champion, Johnny Benson will join us in a little bit. So there we go. Let's start with the truck race. Want to do the truck race first? Ben Rhodes,
Sure.
winner.
Yeah.
2 laps to go. Caution comes out. Moffitt, Creed, they dominated the whole race. Okay, I'm going to
I'm sorry, but here's what happened.
Go ahead, because
I'm driving back from Darlington,
right,
and I don't have Sirius radio, and we lost the race with like 20 to go, and I couldn't find it.
right.
So I was kind of in the dark about it. So you're going to have to tell us how everything went
So
down.
Moffitt and Creed are dominating the whole race. Caution comes out. There's 2 to go. They're going to go to overtime. The crew chiefs call them in. The GMS crew chiefs call them in to get 4 tires for 2 laps. And everyone's like, and Ben Rhodes stays out, and he gambles. He was running 4th, so 1st, 2nd, 3rd came in, and he went out and won the race.
Yeah, stay out.
Now, stay out. What would you do? Let's play crew chief.
With 2 laps to go, you got to stay out.
Even if it's Darlington.
Track position,
Even if
everything.
Darlington.
Well, absolutely. Look,
Okay.
I don't know how many years ago, but there was a guy in a 78 car
Yes.
who stayed out,
Yep.
and he won the race
Yep.
because of that fact.
That's right. And he was on the broadcast, and he even said,
Yeah.
I don't know, it worked for me one time, but I only needed to work one time for me. We'll see what happens here. So
Regan Smith.
Regan Smith.
Great kid.
Yep, good kid. It was his big win there. So that's happened with the trucks. So now there's another guy. Now he's into the he's in the playoffs there. Xfinity race.
We
Talked
did talk about
that.
it on
Just want to
Saturday.
reiterate what a great race
It was a great finish.
Yep.
Them two beating, banging on each other, and racing each other pretty clean
Yep.
till the end. I really liked that. I thought that was some pretty grassroots stuff going on there, and I think if our guys would take note of that,
Yep.
I think if Truex would have waited a little longer and pushed Chase Elliott a little harder,
Yep.
he might have been in the same position. I think he got a little too much too soon.
So Truex.
He had a better car.
He did have a better car. He was leading the most laps. He chased down Chase Elliott. That was redundant. And went by him, and he thought he had the room cleared, and he didn't. And Chase Elliott had a thing, not blankety blank cleared, is what he said on the radio.
Right.
Meaning that those two, first and second goes out. That opens the door for Harvick.
Harvick, who didn't run really that great all night.
No.
He was okay.
Right.
He was okay. They did a lot of good strategy. Austin Dillon did good strategy.
Yeah, he did too.
And you had the same type of spoiler, race winner spoiler,
Right.
like we did with the Xfinity race. The third place guy ends up winning because of the fact that the first and second place guy run into each other.
Right.
So boom.
Boom. And it's Darlington, and that track has no forgiveness in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some. So that's what happened with that. Harvick now he punches his ticket for the next round.
Yep.
So also out of that, before the race, the 12 car Penske Racing, they found there was some
Unapproved ballast.
ballast.
Which I can say this much: I don't know the whole story.
No.
I haven't really dug into it. Not my area at the shop.
Perfect.
It was a lead shot bag
Uh-huh.
that was left in the car during setup at the shop, and whether it was a mistake, I'm going to say it was definitely a mistake. Them guys don't do stuff like that, and hopefully it was an honest mistake, and I think maybe they fired it.
Okay. So you lost your crew chief for that race.
Yeah, Todd Gordon had to go to the house.
Scramble.
Yeah,
Perfect.
but
Not
yeah,
perfect.
Travis Geisler there, and he knows what he's
Good.
doing.
It's good. He's got a lot of experience. So as a result of that race, coming up for Richmond this week, two drivers, Clint Boyer,
Boyer, Johnny Klossmeyer,
he's out, and
Adam Stevens.
right, and then Kyle Busch is out. So Zipadelli's going to take care of Boyer, and Carlson then he's going to take care of Kyle Busch. So
And that was a lug nut violation.
two missing lug nuts after the race. You could see them when they came in. The officials are all going like that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, someone's gonna have a problem here coming up. And that's what it was.
And that means they're not touching the wheel.
Meaning,
So you have the 5 lug nuts,
right?
and if you can have 4 and 1 not even on, and you can have 3 and 1 not even on, but the other one better be touching the wheel.
Got it.
Better be touching the rim.
Got it.
Obviously, they only had 2
Got it. So they consider that off.
off,
Okay, even though it's on,
even though it's on.
but it's not.
It
on.
might have been on. I don't
Okay,
know.
got it. All right. That's interesting, though. Okay, see, that's why you're here. You have the insight on this
I'm
stuff.
here because this is my basement.
Yes, the honeysuckle.
I gotta go upstairs.
No,
You can send me
no,
upstairs.
not this early. How do I say? Not tonight. So far. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Yeah, it is your basement. All right, so then we head into Richmond this weekend, and it's trucks on Thursday, Xfinity Friday, Saturday again at 2, and then Cup later that night at 7.
Yeah.
7:30. So
Yep.
another full weekend, and then on Monday or on Sunday, football stuff.
Yeah, not going up against football.
Oh God, why would you do that opening day? That'd be stupid. All right. Okay, track news today. How do you like this? A 2-mile Auto Club Speedway, let's call it California.
2.5.
No, it's 2.
It's 2.
It's 2.
Big
track.
piece of property.
Right. They decide they're going to reconfigure it for a half mile.
Yeah, they're
What?
gonna bulldoze everything down
And
and
just bring it around there.
put a half mile in. High banked half mile. I seen the layout of the track. It looks
Yeah.
like a paper clip,
Yep, like a little Martinsville, Bristol, they said.
but maybe with some higher
Right.
higher banks.
I didn't see that coming, did you?
Not at all. But
No.
why not?
Why not? After everything they've done this year, let's build a roval, let's
Right.
do road courses, let's just do all that.
And you got all that property there.
Right?
And if you're not going to utilize it for a limited number of fans that you get,
Yeah.
you might as well make
That's
a
fine.
smaller track, fill it up fill that smaller track up with fans.
I bet they'll sell
Hopefully.
some tickets if you're like, hey, it's a new thing. Let's go look at it. They're more about the Hollywood people coming out. I mean, all the stars you meet there, they're just walking around. All right. I think we covered everything, my friend.
Yeah.
We did cover everything. Oh, by the way, yes, you've been asking. Merchandise is still available. Hats, koozies, shirts, black and gray. And we're going to have the store on the website soon. But we appreciate people that are ordering them. And pubtableracers.com. It's pubtableracers@gmail.com.
Caitlyn Jenner was at Auto Club Speedway 2 years ago, and I was there.
Okay.
I mean, I got nothing. Nothing.
Well, sure.
Against
Right. But the stars
that.
know.
But the woman's feet are this big.
Yeah. Well, I toured.
He had pumps. She
had pumps. The shoes on.
She had pumps.
Yeah.
I want to be correct
exactly.
about it.
Just Caitlyn. Well,
Caitlyn had pumps on that were
Huge.
probably a size 15.
I toured Bruce Jenner around Earnhardt Incorporated one day. They said, "Hey, Bruce Jenner's here. Can you give him a tour?" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever," because I was always the guy they called.
So he's wearing Adidas.
So he was Bruce Jenner, and I'm like, walk up, I'm like, "Oh, you're the guy at the shoulder box," but everything. But it was off the Wheaties, but he was cool. It was good. All right, let's. I think we covered everything. Did we cover everything? We covered everything. Should we bring our guest on?
Sure.
All right,
Let's do it.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. We are very proud to have with us tonight a good friend of myself. I've known him for years.
I've never met the man until
today. You guys bonded over the ASA. He's the son of John Benson from Michigan, a modified racer, 1993 ASA champion. He's 1995 Xfinity champion, and then he was the Cup Rookie of the Year in '96, and he was the 2008 Truck champion at the young age of 45 years old. And he's run 275 races over total 11 years. He won a winner at Rockingham and Cup. 3 Xfinity wins, 14 truck wins, and he was driving Supermods, and he is with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Benson. Johnny, come on over, you're the king of the K.
We'll crawl over you.
If you feel the need, sure. How you doing?
Best day ever.
There we go, that's it. King of the K tonight. Look at that. So welcome. Welcome to the show, we appreciate it. Now, would you care to join us in my life? We want to make sure that we are the cordial. All right? So welcome to Pub Table Racers. There we go. Perfect. Cheers.
Bobby Ellison,
There you
one of
go.
my heroes outside of my dad.
That's right.
Yes.
To so many
Betcha.
people. First of all, what have you been up to? What have you been doing these days? Are you a grandfather?
Little as possible.
Little as
Yes.
possible?
Good for
Yes.
you.
Got a little grandson.
Good.
It's
How
kinda
old?
Cool. Yeah, I just turned a year. So
when you told me that the other day, I was like, "You're a
yeah,
grandfather."
I don't know why you called me old after that.
I didn't know. You're only
You
one
called
year.
me old.
You're old. You're a year older than me. You're 56.
Well, then you're old.
But I have grandkids, so I know. Anyhow.
You know.
Wow. Never mind. That was just
23 and me, don't do it.
Okay, got it.
They might all show up.
No, I don't. I'm good with it. So you've been doing a little as possible. You stayed involved in racing for a while.
I did. I mean, I was after we call retirement,
Right.
and so yeah, I dabbled, still running my outlaw car, and did a lot of super modified stuff. But then I've been slowing down. I was going to do some more super modified stuff, but then out of all the years of wrecking and doing stuff you shouldn't do, my back was finally had it. So I had a little back surgery,
Right.
and so I got to the point I go, oh, I'm getting back in, and then I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
Right.
But then I did do some charity races for the SVAR,
Up at Virginia.
Virginia. We
Yeah,
did
sorry.
one at Indianapolis.
Okay.
In Virginia, I did those, and I wasn't supposed to. But when I went to India, I went and did it anyways, and I thought, how bad could it be, right?
How bad was it?
Well, I didn't hit anything, so it was good. So I did that, and I get out, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But
It was a road course, right?
yeah, I mean, it wasn't long after the surgery, but long enough.
All right.
And then, of course, VR, and of course, everything going on. We were scheduled to do 4 races this year, but with all the stuff going on, we didn't do it.
All the stuff going on.
All the stuff. We'll
Right.
call it stuff.
Stuff, yeah.
Stuff.
Because another name just wouldn't be right.
Yes.
So your early career, you started out with the short track. So we have a true grassroots racer with us tonight. So this touches on our NASCAR and our grassroots theme. So
I think I've done most of everything. It's of course, I started out working in the shop with my dad at a nice age of 7, which my mom was nice enough to when I won Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series.
right,
You know how they kind of show. Well, I didn't know this, but first time I've been to the banquet.
right,
Apparently, they show pictures of when you were younger on the screen. So I'm sitting there at the
with
table.
everybody there.
With everybody there. So
entire
I'm sitting at the
industry, right.
table, and all of a sudden I see this picture when I was 7 years old. wearing one of the, like a machinist apron thing,
Okay.
all dirty
Yep.
from grinding on a frame. I'm doing this, and I look up there and I go, well, what? I'm like, and I go, there's only one person in this world that has this picture. And I look across the table at my mom. And she's like, yeah, she's looking around.
Perfect. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
So that was
awesome.
fun. That was
So, you know, what I'll say about that is you know, I get a lot of younger guys ask me, how do you do this? How do you break in? How do you know, and when you say that stuff, that's how we all did it, you know, back in the day is we
Yes.
all started working on stuff for free with our dads or with our friends or, you know, and that right there is what makes you grassroots. That working in a shop, even if you were sweeping or grinding or cleaning up welds or whatever you did.
Well, we
And-
did.
and-
We did so much stuff. My dad had
Right.
a speed shop that built race cars and components. We had. He's got his own quick change rear end. He was doing that, so I'm working in the shop. And of course, at that time, I thought every kid did this, right? So I built my first race car for a customer at 12 or 13 years old.
Wait, you're
And
building.
I've done it for obviously a long time. So,
Okay.
and so, but I love it when people go, "Oh my gosh, this guy's, you know, he come up through the racer through short tracks," and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't know a racer who has.
Well, it's-
we all did that through our era.
Yeah.
It's like your dad or
or
somebody.
somebody you knew. Yeah.
And we didn't have those avenues, or at least that or I didn't know about them, as far as like the quarter inches and all that.
Right.
That wasn't around when we were there.
Right.
So we
Same
just-
here with me. I
Yeah.
you know, you worked on the neighbor's street stock or whatever it was first, or you know, like you with your dad, you worked right on real race cars, and you know, you're probably welding and everything else at, you know, I learned how to weld when I was 13.
Smart,
You know.
Oh yeah, I wasn't that smart when I was young because I was watching my dad weld,
Right.
and I thought
no
that's.
shield on.
Oh no, I had
Oh, okay.
but I was like, that's kind of cool. And my dad is like, really? And so he's like, well, here, try it. Gives me a couple scrap pieces,
Yeah,
and
sure.
I at that point in time I was probably 8, 9. So I start welding. Well, I get about 2 hours into it, and I'm thinking, this is cool. This is aluminum too. This is
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Wow, you started right in.
So by the
You're
end of the
welding.
day, he had me welding aluminum race seats.
Oh my god.
And then, so I welded one up, and I mean, it didn't look good, but it was like, and he goes, all right. And then he showed me some more practice, and then I got pretty good at it after about a day, right? And then he goes, yeah, there's like 20 more over there to do.
This is
And
like
I
work.
think this is where my first job was.
Did you get paid for all this, or? Okay, never mind.
You got to
You know what his saying
I was
was?
just kidding. You got the. You
He
got
goes, yeah, well, you know, we do feed you, and put a roof under you, and all that. You know. I didn't say
Right.
that stuff. you
Just
know.
remember, I didn't ask to come into this world. Okay,
Right.
That's on you, man.
You won't have to sweep the floor tonight. You
No,
weld
no, I
25
had to
seats.
pick your stuff out. Yeah. Oh, so I did so much of that stuff when I was young, and then of course when I was like 10, I started working on building cars.
Okay.
And so my dad was showing me how to bend pipe and all that. And like I said, by the time I was late 12, 13-ish, he says,
Late.
build a car. So I did everything. I tubing, bent the thing, built the front lid, the whole thing,
Good
built it. It was amazing. And then, well, his plan was. See,
What
when I
was- what was his plan?
Well, his plan. So when I was 13, my dad decides we're at Berlin Raceway,
Uh huh.
Okay.
and he tells me that I need to go hot lap a car. I'm 13, and I'll lay my asphalt. So I go out on a track, and obviously I'm in the way, right? So I'm going in, and I have Freddie Campbell and the late Bruce Vanderline split me going down a backstretch because,
You're going so slow.
well, no, because I was like, oh, I'm going to run the line my dad does, right?
Oh.
Even though I'm like 50 mile an hour off pace. So they go around me, and I get out of the car, and I says, I'm not doing this again. The following week we go test, and I ran. Well, apparently I figured a little bit out because I was going too fast. My dad's running out the track to slow me down. Spun out.
Got it.
But I was running within a second of him at 13.
So at what age
So-
did you get?
So we started building this dirt car, my first car. So I'm building this thing, and he goes, hey, put interior in it. I'm like, okay. Put the suspension on it. I'm like, okay, which is not unusual for custom.
Right.
Put the body on it.
Oh, I get where this is going.
And then I go, who's this for? Because I know all the people that come in there. He goes, just put the body on it. So anyways, I start putting the body on it. I get it all done. And I can't figure out what's going on. I go, well, who's this car for? Because he had told me, but I know everybody that comes there and buys cars. So one day, Chris Patterson, who's another guy that we've helped out for the years, great friend of ours, and so he comes in there looking for a car. So I sell him this car. At 13. And
Thinking you would just do something awesome.
oh, I did.
I got money, I got money.
Yeah. So he buys a car, and my dad's like, what just happened? I go, well, he's looking for a race car, so I just sold it to him. And he's like, then he's like, okay. And then he tells me, well, I was letting you build that for you to go race. And I'm like, you kidding me? I'm 13, right? And so then, then as that passed, this is like in late fall.
Yeah.
Speed Weeks is coming up. Now, we just met these people. They come over to the house. They buy this car. And he goes, they come back for some stuff. And so Chris Patterson's dad, he comes over to Chris. And he's big-time Michigan dirt guy up there, right? So his dad, Chris's dad, asked my dad, hey, we'll take a kid to Florida. Can we take him with us down to
Daytona?
Down to dirt.
Speed Weeks. Okay, got it.
Speed
Okay,
Weeks. So my dad's like, yeah.
13.
And I'm like, hold it. There's kind of school involved in this. Yeah, don't worry about that. Just go with that. So people we don't even know, my dad ships me down to Florida with them.
And you walk the house and goes, I got rid of him for a week.
I think that's how this went. So I went down there for 2 weeks.
Sweatshop thing's paying off, honey.
Which is awesome. You
Oh,
know?
it's our kid, but yeah.
But there's so many good stories that go with that because we're at East Bay Speedway.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. Well, my dad my dad's very intuitive on innovative on building new parts, lightweight. So I built an aluminum steering wheel at 13 years old. Randy Sweet took my thing, I think.
Okay.
So I build this. I give one to Chris. We go down to Florida. We have it in the car. This guy, Chris and them, I don't know where they're at. They're buying tires. They're doing something. My dad always told me, never leave the trailer. So I never did. I'm sitting on the trailer. Here comes this driver by. Walks by the car, backs up, looks in the car. He sees this steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then he's looking around. I'm 13. I'm just sitting on the trailer. Takes it and walks away. He's walking away. And I was like, I'm not allowed to leave the trailer. That's just my dad's rule.
Okay, yeah.
So here come Chris, and I go, hey, that guy just stole this steering wheel. And I said, my steering wheel. I'm 13. I go, my steering wheel. Just stole my steering wheel. And he laughs and he goes, yeah, it'll be okay. It was Charlie Schwartz.
Okay.
Big dirt guy,
Yeah,
obviously.
huge, yeah.
So he goes to practices or does whatever, and he comes back. Where'd you get this? Chris points at me. He goes, where'd you get this? I go, I made it. He's like, no, you didn't. Where'd you get this? I go, I made it. He gives me a card. He says, make me 30. Send him to me. I go, 10-4.
No, wait. Did you get a cut of that deal?
I got room and board again for no
I'm trying here.
Bacon and eggs on Sunday.
which is awesome. I had so much fun.
He's a big Michigan kid. He got a really good breakfast on Sunday.
Yeah, you
All right,
gotta work your way in.
When did you actually get in and start racing?
Well, I was old. I was
What, 17?
18. I was out of high school when
Okay.
I started racing. So we built so many dirt cars and asphalt cars that because I like dirt bikes and all that, so I built a dirt car and went dirt racing. So I did that for about 3 years, and then I was getting burned out because not only was I going to school, working for my dad,
Right.
and then got a job because my dad said I wasn't working hard enough. And I thought, well, there's only 7 days in a week. I don't know. And
I mean, you can't go buy one.
yeah, so I'm going to school, work for my dad.
Right.
We may or may not had a discussion. I said, well, I'll go get a job if you want. And he was like, oh, yeah, like, see, that happened. Well, me as an idiot, go get a job.
Fine
So
kid.
I work for Tim Steele's dad at Hard Rock
Oh my
City.
gosh.
Okay.
Wow.
So now I'm going to school, work for Tim's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad goes, just because you're doing that job doesn't mean you're still not working at the shop. So now I got 3 things that I'm doing.
Getting paid for one.
Yeah, so then I started racing, but I continued into machining, and then took my journeyman's card in tool and die,
Okay.
and I actually did that all the way to I think 1989. I finally quit that, and I won the championship in the outlaw cars,
Right.
and then I went to ASA. That's the race when I went to ASA. So I was 18-ish, going on 19 when I started racing, which is old in today's.
So in '93,
It
you won the
is.
championship in ASA.
Yes, and then I come down here to run the.
So
Busch
how did that? You did the ASA, and so
Yeah, how did it transition?
How did from like short track to boom NASCAR?
So this is this is just kind of weird. But so I'm at the shop. I'm working on my stuff. My mom comes in. Phone call for you. I go, okay. Who is it? It's Dale Earnhardt.
No,
I laughed.
Okay.
I did. I go, laugh. I go,
Another one with her.
Another-
First thing I like to say is he said my mom.
Right, my mom.
My mom.
That's what we say,
There you
my
go.
mom.
Yeah.
This is a
Mom.
nice Midwestern guy. My mom, not my mom, not my mother.
Yeah,
my
mom.
mom.
So Dale Earnhardt, and you said,
I go, yeah, right. Take a message. So she did.
oh,
And about an hour and a half later, he calls again. She comes back in. Now, I don't have a phone in the shop that I was working in or where I have my race car.
right, okay.
She goes, same guy's calling back. I go, what guy? Earnhardt. I go, yeah, right. And she goes, no, you might want. I don't know. I don't know if I believe it or not.
Right.
You know, we were all
Yeah.
short
Right,
track
right.
racing. So I go there and I saw it. He goes, Benson. I go, yeah, Earnhardt. I go, okay.
And you're how old at this time?
Well, let's see. I was running ASA. Got him in my late 20s,
Okay,
right?
so I got it.
20 something.
Yeah, 20 something, late 20s.
Right.
And I go, yeah? And he goes, hey, I want you to run my bush car at Dover. And I go, okay. And he goes, I'll have my people call you. 10-4. He hangs up.
Typical Dale.
Yeah, so you weren't working there at this
No,
time.
no.
Okay. And so anyways, little time goes by, and they did call me back, and they said that AC Delco wouldn't allow him to not run the race.
Oh, so he,
Oh,
he was
okay.
contractually
You were going to
obligated.
fill in for
Okay.
him.
He didn't want to run the race.
Okay.
So I'll call
Well,
this
I don't know why.
I'll call
Well,
this
this
guy
is
out.
over. This was 500 laps back then.
Ugh.
You know, I mean, that's
Even
killer.
for a
So-
push car? Oh, for,
Well, no, because
for
he's running the cup.
Right. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so he
You
was
didn't
going to
wanna
run the
you didn't want to do
200.
the double, yeah.
He didn't want to do the double.
Yeah.
So then, not long after that, I'd always been in with Chevrolet, with Berger Chevrolet up in Michigan.
Okay.
And my ASA car was sponsored by AC Delco.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh,
helped
okay.
remember
Chevrolet.
that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So then I get a call from the Chevrolet guy, and they hooked me up to Ernie Irvan. So I ran Ernie Irvan's car at MIS for my first race.
So you, a home track,
Home track.
the big.
And they wouldn't let me do this, right? So Dale goes over there and just let the kid do it. It ain't like you can get upside down. Guess what?
You got upside
I
down.
may or may not got hit by a friend of mine and got sent off to.
So
down
when you
through
say
the
you were in
grass.
Ernie's car, was that
Ernie
McClure?
Irvan's.
Was it McClure?
No, this is actually
Ernie's
Irvan's
car.
Yeah, a lot of them had like the bush cars.
And you know what? I can't remember his number 4. He did the 4 Kodak
With
car.
Morgan
Yeah,
McClure.
Right,
right.
but his car. So I drove the number 41 Delco Remy
Okay.
car.
Okay.
So there was all that going on.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
was my first race. Second lap, get spun off turn 2. I'm going through the infield, and I go, this ain't gonna be so bad. I'm just spinning on the grass, right? I'll just turn around and keep on getting it. All the way until it got about 10 feet in the air, and I started flipping. So, as Dale says, let him run there. He can't get upside down.
Proved him wrong.
Prove him wrong.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
then, so you're in there. So so that was 94. You started.
This is
93.
93.
Okay, so
I'm still
94.
running for ASA
Okay, got it.
championship
Right,
with
yeah.
this. And then so then at that point in time, Bill Baumgartner from Base Motorsports,
Yep.
which was South America, they called and I ran a couple races for them that year.
Okay.
Then they hired me full time. So then when I came down, I was doing meetings. We got this, get the deal done. I'm running races. Bill used to stay up till 3 in the morning. So it's midnight. We're at his office. He goes, how old are you? And I go, 30. And he goes, what? He goes, if I'd have known that, I'd never hired you. So I started my NASCAR career at 30. Not as old as maybe Dick Trickle. But
Okay, got it.
Right.
Still.
Pretty
So, but that was that phase where like they wanted the experienced guys and they wanted the young guys, and now you can see.
So I was an old, unexperienced guy.
Perfect, and look what you did with that, because then you went out and won the championship,
We did.
and you were
Our second
running
year.
for.
That was Space Motorsports. So
Okay.
we finished 6th, and myself and Dennis Setzer, we
Right.
had a great battle for the rookie year. I finished 6th in points. He finished 7th. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I love Dennis Setzer.
Yep.
And they ended up giving it to me.
Right.
He won 2 races. I won 1.
Who was your crew chief? Who was your sponsor?
Staff America at that point in time was a sponsor,
Okay.
and Steve Birdie.
Birdie,
Steve
okay.
Birdie. Yep, was a crew chief.
And the sponsor was Staff America.
Staff America,
Okay.
yep.
Someone here says they.
And then we got to Limpton the following year. We got
Okay.
Limpton over the winter.
So then, and that was the championship year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because someone said they
Yeah,
have a Lipton, still have a Lipton suit. So if he worked with you or something,
That's awesome. I got one too.
Yeah, but okay. Hornaday said we had him on, and he said he has 102 fire suits. at his house. How many?
He's a lot older than I
I
am.
understand. How many? Did you save all of them too? Did you save a lot of them?
I say I got one. I believe the only driving suit I don't have was my first year of racing.
Okay.
So I do have one. I gave a lot away for charity
Okay.
and things of that nature throughout the times, but I do have one of, I believe, almost every car that I've driven.
Okay.
That's good.
Except
to
for
hold
my
on to
very
this stuff.
first year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the Cup jump, so Xfinity Championship, so you go to Cup.
I would have got
With-
rookie year with Bahar Racing with Penzo.
Penzo. And Doug Hewitt, was he there at the time?
Doug Hewitt, yes.
Doug Hewitt's from my hometown.
Nice, I love Doug.
He's great.
He's a great guy.
So you took over the Penzo car for Michael?
Michael Waltrip.
Yes, okay.
And
I
Michael,
want to clarify that.
and Michael's like just all right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Michael's 6'5".
Yeah.
So, bad story, good story, however you want to say it.
We'll decide in a minute.
Yeah, so Chuck Ryder comes in, he talks to me
Right.
about this, going on and on. And we had like only one meeting. And of course, you know in that world, it gets out like this, right?
Sure.
So I'm still running for the championship in the Busch Series.
Great.
Here comes Michael Waltrip. He's walking over. Of course, he's what, 6'4"?
Yep.
I'm 6 foot. I mean, but
Sure.
he's 6'4". He's still way bigger than I am.
Yeah.
And here he comes, and he comes strutting right up to me, and I'm thinking, I don't remember wrecking him, but let's see what happens. And so he looks at me and he goes, "So, you talking to Chuck Ryder driving your car?" And I looked at him, I go, "Yeah."
Sure.
He goes, What?
Yes,
Before everybody used to lie, right?
Right.
So I go, "Yeah," but I go, "Hold it. Chuck said you were leaving." I go, he goes, "Oh,
I guess I'm leaving.
well, he didn't know what to say because I said, yeah."
Right.
He thought I was just saying, "Yeah."
Right.
I go, "Yeah." So I didn't know the rules down there. So I go, "Yeah, I'm talking to him."
Yeah.
You didn't knock me
Being
out.
Being your normal self.
Almost up. So anyways, he is like, "Oh, okay." And we've always been friends after that.
That's good. So what are you doing?
So
there,
apparently
Mike?
he was.
Yeah, I didn't
He
know.
was. He said he wasn't leaving.
Right,
And
sure.
I says, "Well, at that point in time, I says, look, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing then." And he goes, "No, don't worry about it."
All right, you said not to take questions from who? Barb Benson or Caitlin Benson? Which one?
You know, read Caitlin's first because you better
No,
read
they're
it
good.
before you.
They're good. They're good. No, they go together. They're giving each other crap. So
She called me, said she's sending questions like, "Oh my god."
Perfect. That's your sister, right?
No, that's my daughter,
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
All right, Barb's your sister.
Yes.
She wants to know if you have all your trophies.
Yeah, right, Barb.
What does she do with all your trophies?
She keeps some of my
She has,
stuff.
okay.
I mean, she tries to sneak them out of the truck.
Okay.
And this goes back, I think, when ASA, when we were running there, I told her that when I leave, I leave.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so when you see this hauler moving, you better be in it.
In it. So, okay.
This-
Yeah.
Thank God it was Berlin, so it's what?
So
15 miles from now?
you're leaving the track. You mean?
So anyways, I get in a truck, I look, see it there, and I left. Well, she's down there talking to all of her ASAPs and all this stuff, right?
Okay.
She thinks I back out. Oh no, I just pull forward.
Right.
So I leave, and then she goes to track. So I left her at the track. So every once in a while, she tries to steal trophies from me. So when at the track, she leaves with the trophy.
Ah, gotcha.
So yes, Barb, I know you got about 7 of them in your house.
Perfect.
And some helmets.
We got a question. Last week we had Wahoo Sampson on. He's a big guy too. He says you fit better between the chairs than he did. So we widened him out a little bit.
He moved the chairs up.
Yeah.
That's all.
Brad Baker said, "Been a huge fan of yours since forever, Johnny. I vividly remember at 7 years old with my dad and grandpa surrounding the TV watching you battle Mark Martin for the win at Rockingham. Couldn't have been happier for you." That's good. A lot of people liking that. That's good.
No, it was a great race. That was fun.
All right, so you're going to Cup now. At what point? I mean, I always ask people, you're doing your laps at Berlin and all your short track, and now you're at Lake Daytona, and you're out there with like Earnhardt and Waltrip. At what point do you go, "How did I get here? What am I doing here?"
I said that day I left.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I get
But,
it.
you know,
Daytona
I'll say
is
this
very-
too, even just for a fab guy or
Sure,
for
myself,
you,
yeah.
we all say this to
Yeah.
ourselves. Holy cow, how the heck did we
Yeah.
get here? You know what I mean? It just, you just, it's not fate, it's hard work.
Sure,
We all
it
know
is.
that hard
It
work pays off, and
Gets noticed.
that's the other thing I tell these young kids. This is, you know, it's hard work. Hard work pays off in this country, and if you want to be someone when you grow up, you got to work hard at it. You know, I tell my kids, you can be anything you want to be. Just but you have to work at it.
Right.
You know, this guy's welding when he's 7 years old. I'm 13. I'm way behind him. You know what I mean?
I did kind of come down late, but but when I was younger, my dad would always, we would go down to Florida for vacation, but
Right.
my dad's vacation is a lot like mine. You try to work around a racetrack.
Sure, always.
So we used to go down there, and we go down there back then. You'd watch bush race. Well, you watch Bush Clash,
Right.
and then IROC was down there, so we
Yeah,
watch
Remember
that.
that?
And then you watch qualifying races,
Yep.
and then we watch a bush race.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
dad's like, "All right, let's go home." I go, "Oh, there's one more race."
This was one more race, the 500.
So
Right. There's the 150s and the 500s.
That's true.
yeah, so we went all the way to the bush race and went home. So when I went down there and started running a bush race, and you get to Daytona, of course, this is like, holy crap!
Yeah.
this is big.
Yeah.
So I was running for Bill Baumgartner, and anybody going down there says probably 14, and he goes, "Hey," I said, "I got a booth up there in the thing. Let's go stay and watch 500." I go, "I can't." And he goes, "What?" I go, "Look, I've been coming down here since I'm 14 years old. I've never seen the 500. At this point in time, I think I've got this much of a chance to maybe race it."
Yeah.
So the first time I've ever been at Daytona 500, I was like,
Wait a minute. The first time you were at the Daytona 500,
I was
you
in
were
the race.
okay.
I drove a 30 car.
You were
Nuts.
racing your way
That's
in.
nuts. It's like,
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
real quick, first lap around Daytona, first few laps. What is that like? I mean, it's got to be just amazing.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because I think you're just the event is such a huge event. So when the track itself is not that hard to put 40 other guys out there.
Yeah. All right.
And so it's like driving on a highway, right? So, but it's like now I did do testing obviously before I went down there in the bush car,
Okay.
and so I went
Can I
there.
interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Was that your testing and stuff? Was that mandated so you could race? You know how they do that now. You have.
Well, I had ran some races the year before though.
Okay.
So I run Atlanta, Rockingham, Michigan,
Okay.
and something else. So that was back
So
when-
as long as you ran like Michigan, you could do the Daytona.
I don't.
How was it back
I don't
then?
understand the rules because there's people that go down there for the first time that have never been, and I've had friends
I
that try to run
guarantee it's not
motorcycles.
good to understand the rules
So-
after what happened this weekend. But
Yeah. So anyway, so you just because I think that I was going to run the full season, they said okay. But like even running Michigan, that doesn't happen. But Earnhart said let him run.
Which is pretty good.
okay,
Which is
so
pretty-
you had some drivers.
I had some
Yeah.
people on
Okay,
that.
yeah.
He's
So-
going to be okay.
Yeah, but, well, we don't know that. Yeah. So I got down there test wise talking to Ernie Irvan because I ran my first race with Ernie.
Yeah.
And he goes, "All right, he says, go out there and run about 3/4 throttle for about a lap. Go a little bit more, and then your third lap, just don't lift." Of course, this is V6 back then, too.
That's right.
And so I did that. Well, then a couple weeks, and this is still before the Daytona race,
Yeah.
we went to Talladega. So I called Ernie up. "Hey, what do I do?" He goes, "Oh, lay down pit road, never lift. Just don't even think about it."
Okay,
And
perfect.
so at that point in time, you get a good gist of what's going on there.
So,
now. But now you got to still learn
Bush
to wrap
cars. The Bush cars back then were V6s.
Yes,
V6s, right?
Yeah.
so fast.
So, very fast.
But so that was my
Right.
that was my
That
experience.
was
I think
before
I
they
remember
went
it.
to. They were V6s for 3 seats.
They were there. There was only there the first year I ran a rookie year. In the following year, they went to V8s.
They went to the 9-to-1
motor.
motor then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Built by K-Tech, good friends of mine up there.
Yeah.
When they still build my stuff when I race.
So you started going to victory lane. You started winning races, and you're like, "This is pretty good stuff here." And
But it's pretty cool
Yeah.
to win any race. I don't care where it's
Okay.
at.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
win a
absolutely.
race is pretty
That's
cool.
what I was going. So you have your short track wins, then you have your NASCAR wins,
Yeah.
and you're still getting out of the car in your victory lane, and the notoriety. So when you started getting noticed places, when you're like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" and I mean, how did that? Is that something you're prepared for? Or did you,
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You're not prepared for it, and it. You can't prepare for that.
okay.
You got people coming up all the time, either wanting to talk. I'm more about talking than I would be doing autographs, but
Sure.
I love doing autographs for kids,
Yeah.
and so you go. I think
Awesome.
everybody goes through that transition of that you can deal with stuff at the track, this and that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when you're out to dinner though, and you're with
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
that's when it
Yeah.
gets. That's when
it gets a little hairy.
it gets when people
Yeah.
needs to say, "Hey,
Put
wait
them
till he's
in.
done.
Yeah.
Wait till track
Chill
time."
out.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the time.
Yeah.
I know the answer. You just reminded me. Strangest thing you ever autographed.
But
You remember the woman?
A boob?
No.
no, I remember a girl had cancer. I autographed her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, right across her forehead. She's like, I go, really? This is permanent?
Yep.
So do it anyways.
So I got.
yes.
When you tell me that
Girl
story.
had cancer
You
and her
got
hair was gone, and I autographed her.
Perfect.
Forehead.
I appreciate the attitude there.
It was awesome.
So Tom Beatty, he's a friend of the show. You had top 5 finishes at Dover. Homestead, what was your favorite track? Did you have a favorite track of all of them, or did they just kind of blend in?
Probably Rockingham.
Well, no, my favorite track is Berlin Raceway.
Well,
All right.
But as far as you know what, I always said that I loved every track and I hated Martinsville. But I've run good there. I've run second in a cup race there with the opportunity. I've won truck races there.
Right.
I've ran good there. I don't like the idea of people thinking it's okay to knock you out of the way. I still don't. I do not like
Right.
the idea. Well, now they've moved it. They just do it at any track.
Exactly.
But so that I think us old guys do not like that when people knock people all the way.
you know, I hate to say
Hey.
to say it's a Midwestern thing, but you know, we talked about the race at Darlington this weekend with Denny and Ross.
Chester.
Yes.
And I thought them guys raced the crap out of each other really good.
Yeah, I don't think
With-
they really caused anybody any problems.
Yeah.
That was a good race.
And without knocking each other out of the way. And I think if we would see more of that out of our cup guys, because I think, you know, to me that's what was more. It was more about that
Right.
back in the day.
Let's race each other.
You
There's
race each
a
other
couple of
hard.
pedals down there. I got to
Yeah, you
utilize them.
can do what you need to do. You know, maybe in the last lap, but we don't need to do it right away.
I don't think you should do it in the last lap.
I don't either, but
I'm okay with taking air off. My dad always taught me, you can't touch him, can't hit him.
right,
If you get beside him,
right. To the
then
door, to
you-
middle of the door.
if
It's
you
your line.
earned
It's-
your way beside him
Absolutely.
and you hit, you can deal with that.
Absolutely.
So
Who
that's how I
was,
did.
who was the toughest person for you to race out there? Of all
Oh my
time?
gosh! I thought people always ask that, and I always say that everybody because everybody's on the track at one time.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you got certain competitors that are as stubborn as
Right.
Right, like
as
Newman.
I was.
Everybody said-
Newman was known for that.
Well, I mean, but
Were you Newman? Were you like a moving chicane?
I wasn't a moving chicane. I was going to race you,
Right.
And because I remember being in one drivers meeting, and they were like, I won't say who it was, but they were like, you know, just sometimes you got to let these guys go. And I go, hey, a lot of people in the stands pay money to see side by side racing.
Yeah, that's right.
So you race. I'm okay with guys racing.
Right.
Not,
And my
not
sponsor
blocking.
says I can't let this guy go.
Right.
You know that.
No,
That's
but
the
if
other
you're
deal.
both, I had one with a driver at Richmond that I think I run fourth in a race. It's a cup race.
Mm-hmm.
And a driver that finished behind me, finished fifth, come up yelling after the race because he's like, "You
Who was
raced
it?
me too hard."
Who was it? You're good.
Huh?
Come on, you can tell us. We're all friends here. What was the number?
I don't want to throw it. It may have. Hold on, I gotta. It was a yellow Pennzoil car, but not with Bahari.
Okay.
It may have been with Childress. I mean, Earnhardt's.
Okay, I got it.
So, anyways,
Ooh, park.
so I
Our guest
we're
next week, maybe.
racing. We're racing. I mean, he was
Yeah.
trying to get by me. I was trying to get by him, and we're racing. He comes down yelling at me after the race. He goes, "I would have won this race."
Write this down.
I
Ask
would've-
Mark about Benson.
I know. It's
He's like, "I would have won this race if you wouldn't have raced him so hard."
Where was that at?
It's
Richmond.
at Richmond. I go, hold on.
I was
dude."
at the race.
I go, you run fifth. I ran fourth. I go, do you think the third, second, and first place guy we're gonna let you go too? I go, I don't get it.
I think that was a No Bull 5 race.
Were you
I
on
don't
the
know
team
what
at the time?
I think I was on Park's team.
Okay, yeah.
It was
Were
probably.
you yelling at him saying,
No, I was like,
Go get a bunch of them.
no, pass him.
Pass them. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was at about 2000,
Yeah,
99 maybe.
that's good.
I'm trying to think what car I would have been in. Yeah, I don't remember if I was in a 10 car or it might have been a 10 car because I don't think I ran that good there with Roush, but it could have been with 30
Well,
car.
that's part.
Well, it wouldn't have been 30. wouldn't have been the 30 car because it was Pennzoil was not my
We're
sponsor.
trying,
I
we're
was
trying to get Steve on next week, so we definitely can say.
Oh my
hey,
God! You should bring this up
Of
before.
course we are going to. We're going to. That's it. All right, here's my brother.
I just thought it was fun.
My brother from Vegas goes, "What's the least favorite track to run at and why?" Did you have one that said, "Oh, I just don't want to go here"?
Martinsville.
Martinsville. But you won there.
But you won.
I have. I just don't like
You just
the
hate it
reasoning
because they
for-
didn't give you a clock.
You know, that's the other thing.
We said we were going to bring this up.
We brought it up.
You know, myself and Jack Sprague.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we're from Michigan.
Right.
I don't know why it would have been, but I want to race there, and he did in the trucks, and we didn't get a clock, and we're the only guys.
Really?
I don't want one now. But the thought of it.
You don't want one just because.
You don't want to cuss.
Well, you know, I don't think I'm going to move for a while because I talked to the guy. He says, "Oh, what a pain moving these."
They
things."
are a pain in the ass.
So,
I can't look at. I can't put that ceiling tile in because of that damn clock.
Oh, that's
Oh,
okay
that's
though.
funny.
Not complaining.
Yeah, not complaining.
perfect.
Yeah, you got to worry about that one tile, really?
No,
So yeah,
no, don't keep the clock.
I still don't know why we didn't get one because I watched every race there. They got one, and I got looking at them, and Jack goes, "Same thing happened to me.
Huh.
You want a truck racer? Didn't get one. I want a truck racer. Didn't get one.
Right.
As far as we know,
Total
it's only two
injustice.
times.
We have to fix that.
Yeah, I don't. I bet. Don't get me wrong. I'd take one if you hollered.
Do you still watch? Do you still watch the races today?
I do. Not all of them. I pick my tracks. I mean, obviously, gonna watch Daytona. Why?
Sure.
wouldn't I?
Right.
Right.
Same.
That's always big. But I love the short track, so I'll go there.
Okay.
So I did go to Bristol, sat in the old grandstands for the one that they allowed us to go to this year. So
You went as a fan. You were a fan
I
of
went
the
there,
stands
well
of
for
Bristol.
for the All Star race.
Okay.
What do you think the state of our sport is now?
You've been
Do
through
you think
the.
we're okay? Do you think?
I don't know.
We don't either.
I don't.
I'd like to ask a veteran.
I didn't,
because-
you know, I mean, I can say it because every driver complained about the COT car and all that.
Yeah.
And so, but I come from an era where, you know, lightweight, you know, do what you can, this and that, da 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 da.
Right.
So I never liked that car in how they do it. But now, I think with the car that's got so much side force, you never see anybody spin out anywhere on their own.
No, and this
Right.
new one's got none.
Yeah, none.
The new one's got zero.
You know, so I'm not saying that spinning out's
You-
good, but you gotta put a little.
You're gonna have to drive it again. You're gonna have to.
You know,
It's
you can't. It's hard. You can't
Yeah.
spin them out. I mean, the trucks even you can spin a truck out every once in a while, and they had a lot of side force on it,
Right.
And they were still difficult to drive, even though they had that side force, not as much as what they got with the Cup car. I don't know. I'm just a believer in making it really hard for the guys.
Sure.
For the drivers.
For the drivers.
Yeah.
The truck championship. So
That's
you were,
pretty cool.
I mean, I'm just bringing up just the fact. 45 years old, Truck Series champion, and you won 14 times in that series. Was it what made it more? I mean, people say, "Oh, trucks are so much more fun, and the racing's better than let's say Cup." How did you find that? What you
It was, but because the races were shorter.
Right.
Shit. You know, 45 winning that, it's not that big a deal. I was trying to beat a guy that was 50 something.
Who was that?
Hornet.
Okay, yeah.
But so I mean,
yeah.
you know,
Okay.
well, I would try to beat a young kid.
The youngster got me, man.
So you know, me and Ron had a great going down through there, but we had a huge lead, and that was right at the time that NASCAR decided to put restrictors on all the Toyotas.
Yep.
In the so now I got my hand tied behind my back.
Okay.
And so I went from 170 point lead. I had enough points to
Just write it up.
to lock the championship.
To maintain,
But
yeah.
there was like 8-10 races to go. This wasn't like at the end. And then of course they started slowly coming because we're driving one handed.
Right.
And so anyways, it got to that point where of course Hornaday wrecked out at
Phoenix, 2008.
And so I'm running along, and I'm a racer, so I'm gonna race.
Right.
I may or may not have been passing a car within their stable thing, and we ran out of room, and now I wreck.
Oh.
And so now all that point cushion that I had a point cushion, and then they like say came right down
closed it up a
here.
little bit.
He wrecked, then I wrecked. We go into Homestead, and we're within 7 points.
I remember that. It was close.
Yeah, and I left when the guys come up and they go, "Oh, you know, that was about Phoenix, this and that," and they said something, and I was like, I kind of noticed the points were kind of tight already.
Yeah.
So we had to finish ahead of him.
Okay.
And we were not that good down there. Ron was good. We were not that good. And so we were trying to figure out strategy, trying to do this. Ron's kicking our butt on the track. And so we got down to that end. We did a 2-tire stop. We came out in the lead. I didn't hold it. Of course, Ron gets by me, and then so we have this caution late in the deal in trips like pit. And I'm watching Ron's in front of me.
Right.
been in front of me the entire day. And I see him down pit, and he's drip shot me a pit.
Right.
And I see him go down pit road, and I stayed out.
You
He's
defied
like-
the crew chief?
Huh?
You defied the crew chief?
I didn't defy him. I just,
Didn't hear him.
I'm going to go with that in.
Yeah.
Oh, is that for me?
It's ultimately,
Sorry.
it's ultimately his decision if he thinks this is.
Well,
I get it.
it's a combination of stuff, but you know, I get where he's coming from. We need 4 tires. We got to do what we got to do,
Right.
right? But it was like every time we come down pit road, he's kicking our butt.
Okay.
So I was like, I go, well, this is our only chance. So when I go by, he has
This
such
is
a
Trip Bruce.
trick, and
Now the crew chief for Stuart Friesen.
love Trip.
Yeah.
Trip is awesome.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're arguing this, and I go, look, I can't beat him. Can't beat him. If we come up behind, I can't beat him. We were just not that good. I just felt that the day went, and we were just smarter, I think, at the end.
Okay.
And so, but if there's 2 more laps to race, we wouldn't have won it. But how many times do you ever get there? There was 5 more laps out of 1. But
You
can't.
felt like your only shot
My
was
only
to
shot-
have track
My only
position.
shot was to be ahead of him,
Yeah.
and he was back. And of course, Scott Speed is my partner, crew chief or teammate.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily take off as good as he probably should have.
Ah.
So he did help me there maybe a
Got
little
it.
bit, but ended up being we were ahead of him at the end. That's all it took. And we
Perfect.
won. It was awesome.
Good. That's awesome that you have those championships. All right. Ready for the 1 wing challenge?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we have 1 wing. You do 1 wing on here. We rate it. And tonight's wings are from Hot Shots on 150, and they were kind enough to cut us a little
We go.
deal. And then what was it?
I know it's not going to be the hottest. Danica, yes, we know Danica.
Danica, she was great. She goes, "Oh, you guys have that podcast. It's been a while." So we do that. So I'm going to ask you while we're doing this. You talk about Daytona, the 500 that you almost won.
Yep,
The almost won. And that was the white car. You had no sponsor going in.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, was it Lycos, right? What was it?
Yes, Lycos.
Oh, the dog, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you're leading at the end. And what year was
But
that?
there was 30 laps.
Yeah, you were doing.
50,
What year was that again?
2000.
Okay, so yeah, because everyone's like going, "Holy crap, he might pull this off." You know, the underdog.
I would have if we stayed green.
Right. Oh, that's right. The damn caution.
Michael Waltrip and somebody else wrecked, and I told Mike, because we were doing that show inside Winston Cup
Yeah, I
Racing.
remember that. Yeah.
I told Michael, why don't you play in the track? Play hurt, because this is when they used to finish on the yellow.
Oh, that's right.
I
Yeah.
said, you could have played hurt, I'd have won this race. He
Oh,
did.
yeah, that's right.
So we went green with 3 to go, 4 to go, with 4 Fords behind me on
That's right.
Pontiac.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
You went up and they all went. I was like,
Well,
oh,
I was
man.
getting bumped and moved, and
Right.
Earnhardt come down and
Confused.
says, I would have made him put me in that pond. I'm like, dude, I don't want to wreck here at all. So he got me up. And
One other question. What do you miss most about being out racing?
Competition.
Competition?
Yep.
Okay.
I do miss. I still get it every once in a while. Runs the super modified.
Okay, that's good.
stuff
I mean,
like
it never goes away.
that. Never goes away.
Right.
Obviously, this is still a competition because we had ET swings.
Okay, so it's you eat 1 wing. It's 1 wing challenge.
You're pretty
1 wing.
temperature hot. I'm going to give
The
everybody.
temperature hot?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna hang on.
It's not.
Well, if he says it's hot.
Temperature hot.
wise.
Oh.
Heat wise, we don't burn any fingertips. I know through your career you helped a lot of people, and you've always been the type that went back to the short track. You always reached
Yep,
out,
always
helped a lot of people you helped through, and that's And Tim Clements he said always a class act. He complimented you on that, and I do agree. What
And
is
you've
it?
known me longer.
This is true. What makes you see something in someone that you want to help them? I'm sure a lot of people asked.
Well, I mean, I think you look and you try to see what they do with the car, how they handle the car, how they do this. Now, I did help, or I've been up until, well, lately just because I can't go to the track. But so Carson Holzvar, his dad used to buy a lot of cars from me.
Okay.
So his dad's like, "Hey, will you help my kid out?" And I go, "Yeah." And and then it got to that point where he's trying to buy my house car.
Right.
I go, "Well, how's your kid?" He goes, 11.
So you're driver coaching this.
11-year-old kid. We
Have you
went to
driver
Hickory.
coached anybody else?
Oh, I have. I've gone.
Anybody
to track.
who's
Well, I mean, I did
anybody
some
you speak
stuff.
of now?
Well, I did some stuff with Trevor Bain when he was
Right.
coming
Okay.
through Michael Waltrip. Of course, I helped Danica for a bunch of races.
That's
All
right.
right.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
and there's some other guys that some of the guys that Kyle Busch had at the truck stuff. Some of them I can't think of their name because they were there
Yeah.
very short
Short
time.
time.
And so you go help them for a little bit, things of that nature. I do like helping people, but I can tell within 20 laps being at the track of where they're going and not going.
That
Because
veteran eye.
if you do not get that line perfect
Right.
every time, and move around this and that, whatever, you pretty much know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I have done a lot of that though.
Good.
It's been fun.
Any of you people have questions? You want to chime in here while we do the 1 week
See how this
challenge
is.
here?
Where's your wing?
It's
good.
coming out in a second there. I'm a drummy guy.
Yeah, me too.
Holy
Just because
crap,
they're easier. at the moment.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I forgot the flavor I got. I forgot the flavor I
haven't
got.
seen
Can I get it? Can I guess?
Cajun, yeah.
It's some kind of pepper. It's very peppery.
Wow. See, so this whole thing, being from Buffalo, all I rate was medium. Buffalo medium, 2 blue cheeses. But now, it's like trying all these other wings in there. So it's 1 to 5, you can do like 2.3, 4.4.
I go to Hot Shots all the time. I've never had this.
Okay.
Don't know what it
Me
is.
neither.
I don't think this is on the menu.
Yeah, it was. I ordered it. Okay.
They're good.
Yeah.
I don't think it. Good job, man.
We got a rating here? The spice is good there.
They're no, I like hot stuff.
That's not hot.
They got a nice bite. It's got a nice bite. After bite.
I got cinnamon in there.
I get a lot of pepper.
Okay.
Pepper, some cinnamon, honey, cinnamon, pepper.
Sure.
What did you order? I'll
give
give
them the
them.
menu enough, and I'm not sure what they are.
It was Cajun something. I got talking with her,
Cajun something.
trying to get a show, trying to get us to be an advertiser. And I kind of forgot. It was good though.
They're good.
They're good.
Yeah, they are good.
I like the ones.
I do.
I want to go 3. I'm gonna go 3.8.
I think.
Oh
This,
wow!
Oh, what?
Now it's kicking.
Are you getting it?
now?
2.8.
4.2. I'm gonna go. No, I said 3.8
Is this out of 5 or 10?
out of 5.
Out of 5.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was like,
I wanted to do out of 10.
One
You
to
like
five.
to do out of 5.
1 to 5.
Um,
It's only one wing.
4-3.
Yeah,
All day
in a
long.
4. I'm in a 4. I'm in a
All
4.
right.
I'll do a 4.
So we all good? All right. So
Only
everything.
because I like the.
They're meaty. They're
good.
they're not slimy. They got a lot of good flavor. I don't know if that's a little barbecue
Messy.
sauce or honey. I'll get you another.
Oh no, you're fine. We'll wait until commercial.
Oh, speaking of the show,
Oh, we got a commercial break.
We got a commercial. This show is brought to you by Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms, and
And depends. No.
and that by there, and also the Untitled Tailgate System. Go see, go check them out. Both of them online. We have them on our page. We have the click through. Johnny, little Johnny Trailer Trash,
I don't know.
the musician.
How come we're not? We need to get some Miller sponsors here. How about that?
Well, I'm thinking we're trying to. We Wally Bacardi and Coke is trying to get us to maybe throw us a couple cases of beer or something. But it's
Throw us a bone here, why don't
It's
you?
fine. We're good with that. So we do appreciate the people that you guys watching and on the website and everything, merchandise and all that stuff.
I could save about $700 a week if I could get a Miller sponsor.
$700 a week or a month?
A week.
A week. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I move it to a couple days. Okay.
I'm gonna grab the last one
More
here,
money.
You won't need this far.
since we're out of money.
And if anyone has any questions, now's the time we wrap it up here. If you could change one thing about the sport now, what do you think you would do? If you could say, okay, here's one thing that I think, or if you have a couple.
Right, and don't say like fire all the fabric.
No. Well,
I mean, you've seen.
I think in probably get in trouble for this, but
By
No,
who?
maybe not.
Can't.
By who?
This is pub table racers.
Yeah.
I love engineers, but we gotta limit that down. I like to see more. I like short track racing. I like the fact that you're in the garage, a couple of your buddies coming up with stuff,
Grassroots.
grassroots.
Yeah.
They've taken ingenuity out of the sport, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
So when you put this in a smaller box, you need more engineers.
Right.
I think it's too heavily engineer driven right now, but there is no fix for that. How are you going to fix that? Can't do it. But I think
I
that's
can honestly say they are fixing that with this new car.
Yeah.
well. All you
Because
did
you're
is
buying everything.
you're making everybody have the same car
Yeah.
with some adjustments. I think it's probably an okay thing. Obviously, it's going to put some people at work, but in the same token, it's. I mean, it might be the right move. I don't know. I don't know the answer. It's why
I don't know it either. I
know.
have a lot of friends and buddies who are engineers. I'm kind of in an engineering group myself.
And I love them. They make your life easy.
Need some milk, too?
They're not.
Are you watering?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh, but at any rate, I get what they're doing, and I get what they're doing with the money and trying to make it. I want my whole thing on this is I want more of a stock car. We're supposed to do stock car racing, and I get the safety. I get the.
Well, you need safety.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's take stock body panels again. let's go backwards a little bit. You know?
Here's a problem. The aero aspect of it, which my dad has always recognized and been. So I've had that through my career.
Right.
But when people really recognize the benefit on the bigger tracks and the aero came into it, that's where I think some of the downfalls started going, because people started taking advantage of it. Now you got mechanical out of it. It's hard to get that back. It's hard because aero is always even if your car is set up 100%.
When your deck is 3 inches to the right.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? I mean, even our cars now, our deck lids are over to the right, and they're not straight up lids. You know, when you used to have to go get a car from the dealership, and you had to use 90% of that car and make it a race car. That car didn't have offset. It didn't have, you know. Granted, we produce some of them problems as fabricators and innovators and engineers, but that's the kind of stuff I would like them to take away from us. Not the aero tricks that we can do with a stock car, with a, you know.
I thought that they really had that figured out when they put the, I'm going to call it a wing. There's a difference between a spoiler and a wing.
Absolutely.
They put that on the back.
Picnic table?
When I run the super modifieds, that's the first question I had was, as you know, we start running these tracks, we're running over 150 mile an hour on a half-mile racetrack. I go, what's going to happen when I run down the inside of something? Is this thing going to get loose and all that? And they go, no, because it's got a wing on it. And so they don't get loose, so you can actually do side-by-side racing without having a huge effect on the car. So I thought when they went to the wing on the back of the Cup car, I thought that was going to be a good thing, and I don't understand why that didn't work, because it works on
I can tell you.
other stuff.
You want my aero opinion on this?
Sure, absolutely.
After 25 years. So, okay, that wing on the back of those COT cars was not high enough in the air. It was
Sure, that makes sense.
The roof and the back glass, we would have had to have that wing a foot above that car for it to be a real wing and to be effective like a wing would be on a, think of a
Which
drag.
makes sense, because the Supers are on the roof.
Yeah, think of a drag car. Think of the Superbird. You know, the Daytona Superbird. That wing wasn't high enough, so a lot of that stuff got lost in translation because of the roof height and the wing height. That wing would have needed to be a foot higher for it to work properly.
Yep.
We have a comment from Marilyn Mosier in Akron, New York, outside of Buffalo.
Nice.
Really nice to see Johnny and listen to his stories. I miss you guys like him on the track. There you go.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Miles, who we met at Darlington today, he's tuned in. Said to say hi. He's watching.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, Miles. We had these people. We actually had like 32 fans. If you crossed your eyes, it was 64.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We had that. So.
Have more Millers.
Well, we had a couple.
More fans.
That's perfect.
It's
all
a
right.
starter kit.
Anything else? Any questions? If not, we're at the top of the hour. Uh-oh.
You need
Wait,
Tums?
I'm good. Not yet. I'll have one. Let's drink more beer. Thank you, doctor.
All right. Cheers, Johnny. Thank you for
Thank you for
coming.
being on. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Continue
Great
to
guest.
enjoy your-
Great
Throw me
guest.
out.
Okay. What's
Time
that?
to go. Throw
It's
'em
time
out.
to get to top.
You're gonna have to
I'm
leave, but you
throwing
can't
out.
stay here, as a Blues Brothers said.
You're more than welcome. You're retired. Where the hell do you have to be? You're retired, right? I work for myself. And you work the second shift. So,
Right.
hey, Kim, what's for breakfast?
Hey, you brought up coming over. I came over for 3 days waiting for this.
Johnny's gonna take me in a garage, teach me how to weld again.
All right, hey, Johnny Benson, two-time NASCAR champion, ASA champion, great guy. Appreciate you being on.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, and we appreciate all you folks. Appreciate you as well. We'll see you at Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms on Saturday.
Saturday.
What time?
1
1 to 2.
o'clock.
1 to 2.
Can
So
I go?
come on. You can come. Sure, please.
Wings
That'd be
are
great.
hot, aren't they? You're
Let's close up the
stumbling.
door. Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
There we go. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one. See you Saturday.